All right, I'm here. My name is Allison Iverson. I'm the director of NIL at Boise State. And I just kind of wanted to talk with Ahmed today and kind of hear his story about how he grew up and why he chose Boise State and what he's learned while he's here. So to start off, can you just tell me a little bit about your upbringing and kind of your story?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, like you said, I'm Ahmed. I came from Egypt. I was originally born here. I left the country when I was 6. I left also my half brother Corey. We're only from a half side. He's from the dad side.
Okay.
I left with my mom. I left with my dad. He stayed with his mom. And I left with all the English in the world. I grew up in learning English, and that's the only thing I spoke.
Yeah.
In Egypt, they don't speak that. They speak Arabic. So I left there, and the only thing I forgot all the English, because we straight went into the farm too. So it's the first thing that everybody's speaking a very heavy Arabic.
You're like, I got to learn this quick.
Oh yeah, and I was like, oh, because in Arabic they also we read from right to left,
Right.
and
right.
English is from left to right. So I'm like,
How do I do this?
yeah, that's weird. But I learned the language. My whole family are back in Egypt. So 10 years go by. My older brother was playing semi-football in Austria.
Okay.
And Austria is close to Egypt. So he's like, you know what? It's been 10 years. I haven't seen the family. I haven't talked to the family. I want to go visit.
Mm-hmm.
And then he came and visited. He saw me at that time. I was just struggling as a teenager, growing up. My mom left when I was 3, so I only grew up with a dad. Just struggling as a teenager, just just trying to find my way, trying to find what I'm good at.
Yeah.
Did every sports possible, did CrossFit, did judo, did boxing, did everything possible. And then my brother saw me, and he was like, I was supposed to go to a military school in Georgia.
Okay.
It's called Riverside.
Okay.
And he saw me, and he was like, you know what? He was like, I'm going to take him. I'm a high school football coach and an English teacher. And he was like, I'm going to take care of it. And 1 month later in August, in 2018,
Okay.
I was 16 at the time. I moved, and I started learning the game. I learned the game of football. I didn't know any football at all. Forgot all the English. I was very, very, very barely know any words.
Right.
And
right.
it was very hard for me to just communicate emotionally what I mean or what I want to say.
Well, especially to learn a whole new sport in a language.
Yeah.
No, that's a challenge in and of itself.
Yeah, football, it's its own language by itself.
Yeah.
So they put me in every position to be successful, really. My high school head football coach, Mitch Olsen, he's the one that really taught me how to be a respectful young man and have the view on life.
Yeah.
And just to focus and just to find my way, because you bring a kid that just didn't know any language, didn't know didn't know anything, don't know how to be a respectful young man or a real young man.
Yeah.
And he kind of taught me the way. He taught me how to be a young man. And also I come from an Islamic culture too, so we're gonna talk about that in a bit. And then I started learning. They tried me as a wide receiver, couldn't catch the ball. They tried me as a linebacker. There's too much going on, so they just told me on the D line. Told me to go get the guy who has the ball, and I was like, all right, perfect.
You're like, I can do that.
Yeah, and I was just I took all that anger and all that frustration that I had in my lifetime and just related it to football.
Yeah.
And it worked out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not at first, but then it really worked out. And started learning the game, started becoming more advanced, starting playing, making plays, getting to the QB. And I played at the lowest division ever. I played at Loera High School.
Okay.
Very low. Modern days right here on Bosco right here.
Yeah.
Loera is right there.
Okay.
So not shout out to Loera and everything, but it's a very small school.
Yeah.
Our budget is not really high.
Yeah.
We barely have any sleds, so it's it's like that. So I start playing, I start making plays and all that. At that time too, I started going to camps too, because my senior year got canceled because COVID.
Yeah.
So I didn't even play my senior year. I only played five games in my senior year. So I had to go to camps. My brother took me to camps, and people start knowing who I am because I'm that Egyptian guy that don't know anything. I was just a garage pass rushing, rushing people, doing all that stuff, and people were like, "Oh, wait a minute, who's that kid?"
Who is this? Yeah.
Yeah, and they were just like, "Oh, that kid that came from Egypt, and he didn't know any football. His potential is really good."
Right. Yeah.
And I kind of have the size for it and everything, so and the potential is there.
Yeah.
And then people saw me, and I started getting called and from like D1 schools and stuff. Here's the twist. I feel like I'm such a strong believer in God,
Yeah.
in Jesus Christ, that He led me out of Egypt to come here to follow Him.
Yeah.
Because
Purpose.
that's my purpose in life, just to inspire people and just to like, hey man, look how far I got.
Yep.
You
Use
know?
your game and your story to help.
So it's like, I came from, I was a Muslim. I came from a Muslim country. I didn't know any better. I didn't know, like,
Yeah.
It was wrong back then. It was wrong to ask questions in Egypt. It's like, if you try to ask questions, you're wrong. Like,
Right.
this is not okay.
Yeah.
You are not a believer in Islam.
Right.
And I'm going to tell you about that later in a bit. So fast forward, Spencer Danielson, he played with my brother at Azusa Pacific.
Okay.
So my brother messages him and he was like, hey, like, they're like, check out my brother, you know?
Yeah.
And my brother is not that big and not that tall. Like, I kind of have size, but
Okay.
my brother is like 5'7", you know,
Okay,
like,
okay,
no
yeah,
shame.
you're quite a bit
I
bigger.
love him. A great guy. But like, Coach D, like, didn't know. I was like, Corey, like, he's a D1 that's like, you know? So he thought, but then he saw my video and he saw like how tall I am and how big I am. And he was like, okay, he has size, he can
Yeah.
play.
Yeah.
And then I got offered
Okay.
to Boise State, and I feel like really that was my calling. Is like I came all that way, all that twist to learn football. I didn't even know I was gonna be good at football. I didn't even know I was gonna speak English. I didn't know a lot of things.
How's this gonna work?
Yeah, I just had faith, and I was like, you know what? I'm not even a believer yet. So I was like, I'm gonna go for it. I'm just gonna have faith, and I'm gonna work hard, and I'm gonna go. And good things happen when God sees that you work hard. He'll give you things.
And you have people around you that believe in you, like your brother,
absolutely.
Spencer, and so that helps a lot.
Yeah, absolutely. So, fast forward, I come to college, really like trying to find a way. This has to work out.
Yeah.
You know? And then I kind of have the same mindset of like, okay, I'm going the BS coming to America. It has to work out. Like,
Right.
my first time watching a D1 game, or the NFL, I was telling my brother like, hey, what's that?
Yeah.
You know, what's the NFL? And he was like, wait, that's the NFL. That's like the National Football League. And I was like, I want to play there.
Yeah.
I want to go there. This is really cool. That's like, it was awesome. I was watching Aaron Donald. He's phenomenal.
Yep.
And I was like, damn, that guy is really good.
Yeah.
I want to be like that guy. And he was like, okay, let's take it forwards one step at a time. He was like, first you got to make it D1. All right, what's D1?
Yeah.
Or D2? What's
Right.
that?
Yeah, like,
what's
what's
the
the
division?
yeah.
And he was like, first you got to earn a scholarship, and then you go to a university, and then from university you got to stay for 4 years, and you got to have a successful, and then go
Right.
to the draft. There's a whole lot of process.
Yeah,
I was
the
like, all right, I want you to do this for me. I want you to grab a paper and a pen and search what's a D1 athlete do on a daily basis.
Okay.
And I did that. And I doubled it. Like, you woke up at 6, I woke up at 5.
Yeah.
Like, you know, that's,
I'm gonna do more.
you know, I was like, you work out once a day, I'm going to work out twice a day.
Yeah,
You know, so
yeah.
I was like, and I really dialed in my meal plan and everything. And I was like, has to work out, because if this didn't work out, I don't want to go back to Egypt.
Right.
Because this is, I don't want to go back there, because I was just, the lesson that I learned and the things that I went through, I don't want to go back there.
Yeah.
But fast forward, I come to Boise State. I learned a way, and I was like, you know what? I want to play. I want to play as a true freshman. I want to play a little bit in my sophomore year, and I want to start. I started my junior year. I had a really successful season, and then my senior year, time to finish it off. Like, what are you gonna do? You're gonna do it again, and again, and again. You're gonna prove that you're that guy
Right.
for every doubters out there. And this is my goal. And I came to realization of like, what's my purpose? Like, what am I doing here? Like, why am I moving to the States? Why? And Coach D really helped me with that, and Pastor Mark helped me with that, is to serve God. You know, I came from Egypt just to believe in something. And I start asking questions about like, okay, what's that? What's Christianity? Like, what's that?
Yeah.
Like, I don't understand, you know?
Yeah, you were allowed to ask these questions
Yeah,
now and kind of
and-
figure it out.
And I was like, Christianity makes a lot more sense to me.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, I want to follow that. Like, you know, and I started watching a show. It's called The Chosen.
Oh yeah, I haven't seen it, but I've heard a lot of things about it.
Really good.
Yeah.
I'm gonna watch it tonight. I started watching a show called The Chosen, and I was like, wow, if that. And I talked to Pastor Mark, and I was like, is that your God?
Yeah.
Because if that's your God, I'm in love with it.
You're like, I want that.
I was like, I'm in love with your God.
Yeah.
If that's your God.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah. And I started asking questions. I was like, okay, what's the truth? Like, what's the way?
Yeah.
And recently, 4 months ago, I got baptized.
Okay. Awesome.
And I'm not gonna say how much amount of hate and how much amount of like, but also I got a lot of support and stuff. But I don't know how much of hate and discouragement and you're gonna fail from back Egypt because they don't know any better. Like when I talked to you first, it was like asking question is a wrong thing in Egypt.
Right.
About religion, about like a very topic. Like you basically walking out on your people.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I just want to spread the word, you know, spread the word of God that Jesus Christ is the truth and the light. And I was just like, when I go there, I just want to have a successful year. And then throughout my successful journey, I want to inspire people and feel like, hey, man, look where I came from and look where Jesus Christ can take you. So.
Yeah. Well, I think your testament is just like, or your story is a testament to like your commitment to being better and like the dedication that you're willing to put into it. And I think you've done a great job of showing that at Boise State, and you're setting an example to those that might not have like the experience of starting their sport at like 5 years old and just running with it. Like if you put in the work and you're disciplined, like great things will happen. So I appreciate you telling your story and sharing it with us.
Yeah. Thank you, Allison.